with John Sunvol, Dave Armstrong. Here at Bramlage Coliseum, the Sooners trying to steal one on the road here. Kelvin, Sampson, bad back and all. Boy, he's doing some coaching right now.
I tell you what, his back is going to be just sore. You know, if you've tuned in and you're watching Oklahoma, you'll remember a kid, Prince Fowler, from a year ago. Well, Prince decided he was going to go to Vegas. He ends up at Texas Christian with Billy Tubbs, who had recruited him. Now, he would have been a sophomore this year, had an outstanding freshman year, and that was kind of a minus to this Oklahoma ball club.
Wiley's come off the bench. He's got 3 quick fouls. He's played about 2 minutes and has 3 fouls.
He's getting his money's worth, isn't he? He wasn't supposed to play much, and maybe that's why.
He won't. That's the way he's going.
Staying in the zone defense. Mark Young's been the one who's hot.
Yeah, Young has 7 of the last 8 Wildcat points. Another one on Wiley. Well, that's 4.
Well, he is guarding it. Tyrone Davis, and we've talked about Tyrone, is just so tough in the post, knows how to position, how to get his body in the right spot, and Wiley hadn't figured it out. Watch him start leading. Tyrone Davis just passed it back out to reestablish himself. Not a whole lot going on, a little bit of acting by Tyrone. He's a senior, knows how to do it.
What'd I do, Coach? Well, listen, you can't do this. You can't lean in. You can't do. All right, well, let's see. On the first one, you did this. All right, now you got 4. You're going to sit down over here on the bench.
Son, you're in the box score.
Well, Davis will try to hit the free throws. So Wiley now will do something that Sampson cannot. He will sit down. Davis makes him pay with both free throws. 17 fouls on the Sooners this half, 4 on Wiley. Under 8 to go now, a 4-point ball game. Minor's pass to Abercrombie a little too strong. That was a fastball.
Oh, you got him.
Minor wide open for 3, but can't hit it.
You know, and that's tough. When your best shooter's missing shots, now as an offense, you have to figure out what you can do. And Ryan Minor now, when you get to this stage of the game, has to know if he's not going to make them, he's going to have to make sure someone else has the basketball. And do the other things like rebounding right there. Becomes more important towards the later stage of the game if you're a great shooter and you're not making it, to make sure the team wins somehow. So whether it's penetration and passing that will do it,
got a timeout with 7:15 to go. The Sooners still clinging to a 4-point lead. Ryan Minor over there getting a little advice from Nate Erdmann. Erdmann saying, come on, just go up, take your shot. Don't worry about it.
Let me show you. You know, he says, Minor, if you can't shoot, just throw it over to us. You know, he's had good looks at the basket. Just one of those nights where the ball's not going in. And again, we talked about it. If that's going to happen, what you have to do is find ways to. And he's a tough kid. He will rebound and he will make the passes. I don't expect him to quit shooting altogether. When he's open, take the good ones. Just don't force it.
Just 10 points for Minor, who's averaging almost 22 a game, the leading scorer in the Big 8 Conference. He had 8 in that Texas Tech loss. So you can see the Sooners need him offensively. Now under 7 to go. Still anybody's ball game.
Oklahoma man-to-man defense after that missed shot and out of the timeout. They will go inside.
Barnes tried to help weak side, but boy, that was a mismatch, and Ty Davis makes him pay.
Well, there's a 5-inch mismatch between Abercrombie and Tyrone Davis. So they will continue to try to go to Davis if Oklahoma stays man-to-man defense.
That's a good look.
Well, simple. Kelvin Sampson's on the sideline. He cleared it all out. He wanted Minor to post up Young. Good pass by Foster.
The Sooners are talking about getting Minor closer to the basket, maybe to help him with his shooting a little bit.
Well, one thing is he's strong. He's only been free throw line for 2 free throws. He's strong enough to get him post up. You get him fouled, you get your stroke going on the free throw line, then all of a sudden you start making jump shots.
And the Sooners, John, have gone back to the zone. Here comes Foster with Minor. Foster will just take it the whole way himself. His first second half points, he had 12 in the first half. And now the biggest lead for the Sooners in the second half. It's a half dozen.
And that's one of the things a point guard needs to do. Sometimes they have to score, sometimes they don't.
Paco may walk with it. Boy, after every timeout, the Sooners have put on a little mini run.
And they come out, and again, they're man-to-man the one trip, and the last two times is zone defense, and it has just bothered K-State all night long.
I was thinking at the 16-minute mark, the timeout, the Sooners had a 4-0 run. 12-minute mark, they had a 4-0 run. Here at the 8-minute mark, another 4-0 run for the Sooners.
Let's see if they try to go back to Minor's side. Oh, good pass.
Abercrombie with a chip shot.
That's what great players do.
So now the Sooners on a 6-0 run. Schwarzenegger almost lost the handle. Wildcats lucky to get it back.
And what's tough, it's one thing to penetrate the zone defense. That time Schwarzenegger went in there and they pick up the dribble and you're surrounded by 3 guys. If you penetrate, make sure your teammates understand where the positions are that you can get in the basketball.
Hatcher. That was smooth.
That's a pretty shot.
Elliot Hatcher is the Big 8 player of the week. Scored 17 against the Cyclones, but just 5 here in this contest against the Sooners. Barnes flashing in. He saw Abercrombie, who sees Giannis, and boy, Davis saw that. Now Foster. Here comes Schwarzenegger. Young, he's fouled by Ryan Miner, who picks up his second.
Good defensive stand by Kansas State. Aggressive, and they push the ball off the floor. Deion Barnes is a scorer. Makes a pass that he can't quite get it to, and Abercrombie makes a terrific pass. But what a block by Tyrone Davis. Now it'll head to the other end. Here we go. The ball is kicked up. Allows Mark Young to do what he wants to do. Ryan Miner can't cut him off.
We've talked a lot about the shooting woes of Ryan Miner here tonight, but how about the shooting woes for the Kansas State guards? Hatcher and May are a combined 3 for 14.
Well, Nakia Schwarzenegger makes another basket. He has been the plus in the backcourt for him.
Has he ever? 8 points off the bench for Aaron Schwarzenegger.
Well, Ryan Miner is so physically strong, and he's a gifted player. He can play a guard position, and when they try to break the press, they put it in his hands. I tell you what, once they touch him or get close to him, he's big, and he's going to move his body into you.
Third foul on Mark Young. That's the 5th team foul on Kansas State this half, so the Sooners still not in a shooting situation as we near the 4-minute mark. Still plenty of time, 20 on the shot clock.
They're going to a post-up for Ryan Miner.
Tried to get it to Jason Giannis, maybe too much passing inside, and a turnover. So 3:59 to go in this one. The Wildcats trying to hang in there. We've still got a 4-point ball game.